Hi everyone, Kathy Rose here. I'm going to talk to you about the astrological patterns for August 2026. And you see on screen the Leo mandala because we are deeply into the season of Leo, activated not only by the sun traveling through that sign, but also Jupiter in Leo. So let's dive in and look at the themes for August. It's an eclipse month. The first eclipse is going to happen in Leo, making this whole theme even louder around love and leadership and confidence. And then the second eclipse later in the month is in Pisces, which adds a service vibe that is very, very strong. Don't fear eclipses. This means we get to have a gigantic leap forward, especially if it is activating your chart. The other thing about August that is very strong still is that we have enhanced intuitive signals. And this is largely because those outer planets are still in this arrangement that is very fluid. So the three outer planets, Uranus, Neptune, and Pluto, are all actively working together, and it opens the door for stronger intuition. So avail yourself of this, open up, relax into this. And then the other thing that is continuing in August is profound emotional awareness and healing. It's actually started in June, but it continues through August and it will continue through September. And I'll explain that in a moment. So, first, we had very strong expansive energy in July. Jupiter had its first full month in the sign Leo in July. And we also, toward the end of the month, had the nodal axis moving back into Aquarius and Leo. The true nodes on July 27th moved back into Aquarius and Leo. And what's interesting about that, the nodes stay in a sign for about 18 months. And as they travel through Aquarius and Leo, it's going to give us an opportunity to look at healthy ego. Healthy ego that is still not arrogant and not selfish, but healthy sense of ego that can still help other people, have a humanitarian energy to it. So this is a beautiful development that needs to happen. And toward the end of July, when we had the full moon in Aquarius, we had the Sun Jupiter conjunction. And that Sun Jupiter conjunction is beautiful, especially in Leo, because it activates and energizes everything I've already said, which is the sense of leadership, the expansive sense of our confidence, optimism, and our ability to show up and to shine without arrogance, but with confidence. So August continues all this expansive energy. It's going to continue to flow. And the second layer is this emotional awareness development that's happening. And these are the transits from Mercury and Mars in Cancer. So let's review. Mercury entered Cancer in June, and then it went retrograde in July. It is going to leave the sign Cancer on August 9th as it enters Leo. So we had all of that emotional energy activated in our thinking and in our awareness from Mercury in Cancer. Well, fascinatingly, I mean, this is just amazing that the universe has set it up like this. Mars is going to enter Cancer on August 11th, just 2 days after Mercury leaves the sign. And Mars is going to stay in emotional, sensitive Cancer until the end of September. So I would ask you, where are you pointing your emotional energy? Because remember, Mars is motivational energy that wants to have movement forward. If you are doing affirmations or positive declarations or prayer work, you need to be actively adding your emotion to this, your feelings, and have your feelings guide you, not just use absolute intellectual logic, pros and cons sheets, but adding your intuition and your feeling to what you want to manifest and where your energy wants to flow. What are you energizing with your feelings? And what still triggers you? You may have done some healing already about this in June and July, but what triggers a strong emotional reaction? Mars is going to help you take that to the next level so that you're not as easily triggered or so that you understand the reason. The other thing about Cancer is it rules memories. What memories do you have that you might want to release or that need healing. A phrase that I like to use sometimes in consultation is, aren't you tired of remembering it that way? I mean, think about it. You may have something intense from your childhood, and you may spend too much time remembering it in that certain way. Well, perhaps it's time to release it or change the memory somewhat. You know, just ponder this for a bit. What memories do you have that need healing? It's interesting. So we have all this incredible emotional awareness and growth and opportunity as Mars is in Cancer, and that's going to be until the end of September. All right, so let's look at the first lunation of the month. And this is a solar eclipse, new moon in Leo. There's actually 4 planets in Leo at this time. And we have this beautiful configuration. If you see all the blue lines, these are very harmonious aspects between planets. And they're very, very engaged. So this eclipse in Leo can offer us a spectacular opportunity in the very thing I've been talking about, which is heart chakra awareness, showing up with confidence, showing up with strong ego that is not necessarily arrogant. It's it's beautiful. Now, you might notice on this chart that the nodal axis that's showing up, the north and south node on this chart are still showing up in Virgo and Pisces. When I said that they moved into Aquarius Leo at the end of July, that's because when I do natal chart work, I use what's called the mean nodes. There's 2 different ways to calculate the nodes, true nodes or mean nodes. I'm not going to get into those details with you right now, but if you are working with true nodes, which I do for more mundane work, then the nodal axis would be in Aquarius Leo. So just disregard that on this chart. But you do see a red line here pointing to the planet Mars, because on the day of this eclipse, Mars is going to be hitting 0 Cancer, which is called the Aries point. The Aries point means 0 degree of a cardinal sign. And when we have Aries point activation, it means something wants to come forward into public view happening on the same day of this eclipse. What feelings are going to come up to the surface for you to look at? What feelings are blocking your sense of authority and your sense of confidence? And, expand, use your heart and your gut together. And if you have planets close to 20 degrees Leo or 20 degrees of a fixed sign, so that could be Leo, Scorpio, Aquarius, or Taurus, ranging, we can say from maybe 17 degrees all the way to 23 degrees, because there's some wiggle room on the orb for eclipses, then you will receive direct contact from this. And this eclipse will be more meaningful to you. But even if you're not receiving contact, this is a strong eclipse for shining, showing up, being solid within yourself. It's quite beautiful. Okay, later in the month in August, Mercury races through Leo, which is typical. After a retrograde, then it moves very quickly. Um, and it enters Virgo on August 25th, and it will stay there until September 5th, just about 3 weeks. And Mercury in Virgo is very, very strong. And the flavor will change somewhat to a little bit more analytical focus, even though Mars will still be in Cancer, offering the emotional flow. We will get the benefit from Mercury in Virgo, which is incredible for problem solving or efficiency or detail or precision. And a peak period for this is going to be on August 27th when the Sun and Mercury are conjoined in Virgo. And so you might get a new idea. You might get an answer to a question you have. Your brain may be very, very organized at that time. So then that brings me to the next eclipse, which happens on August 28th. Sun, Mercury still connected together. You see those in the 4th house of this chart. They're still conjunct. This eclipse is fascinating because it's a very different flavor from the Leo eclipse. In this, we're going to have this strong activation between Sun and Mercury in Virgo and Moon in Pisces, which offers the service vibe. Moon in Pisces activates a lot of compassion, a lot of sensitivity. It's a direct conduit from the universe. So it's more abstract, it's more faith-based, it's trusting, it's fluid, and it's creative and highly, highly intuitive. So, what I like about this particular eclipse is that we have the grounded energy from the sun and Mercury in Virgo, feet, solidly on the ground, making practical decisions, merged with faith and trust and intuition and inspiration from the moon in Pisces. So if you have planets in the mutable modality, and the mutable modality includes Pisces, Gemini, Virgo, and Sagittarius. And if you have planets, let's say between 1 and 6 degrees of any one of those signs, then you're going to receive contact from this. And one last thing, and I haven't marked it on this chart, but the planet Uranus is going to be square the moon and square the sun and Mercury. And I don't know why I didn't mark it. I think that's pretty interesting. But that adds an electrified jolt of awareness. I mean, this is a breakthrough moment when you are trying to maybe come to a new decision or connecting body, mind, and spirit. Um, this could be a new idea that forms, but it's very much oriented to faith and trust, which then brings me to my final thoughts. The angel you see on screen is an angel my friend Liza painted, and I helped a little bit with this. And I love her posture because she's opened her heart chakra in this posture. And so we put the words, when I open my heart to love, my joy takes flight. And that's very much part of what August is about. Open to receive this expansive energy this month. But my main message for my final thoughts here would be to engage sound, activate your affirmations, your positive statements by either saying them out loud or singing them. Find a song that has meaning to you that's very, very positive. And I love this Bob Marley song, the one, Three Little Birds. Don't worry about a thing because every little thing's going to be all right. And this is deeply meaningful to me because my little grandson, 15 months old, is a huge Bob Marley fan. And it's amazing. I watch him 2 days a week. And when he comes over, the first thing he does is goes to my computer and points because he wants me to pull up YouTube and Bob Marley's greatest hits. And he has to sit on my lap and we have to listen. The first song is always Three Little Birds. And I had this profound moment as I'm singing the words and he's dancing in my lap with his huge smile every single time this song comes on, that those words are being imprinted in his brain and he's receiving the benefit of the vibe of this. And at some point, he's going to be singing this song. He's not talking a lot yet, but find a song that is meaningful and conveys these kinds of feelings and sing it. Leo energy, don't be shy, let it flow. You might try Bobby McFerrin's Don't Worry, Be Happy. Or Fish has a song I love called Everything's Right, so just hold tight. I mean, I have several songs like this where the lyrics are saying what I want to energize, and I make sure my emotion is flowing as I'm singing them. It's a great way to use this energy in August and a great way to continue this incredible expansion. So don't worry about a thing. Everything's going to be all right. All right, so many blessings and much love being sent to you for August, and I look forward to talking to you in the September forecast. And enjoy the heart energy. Let yourself shine, and that's how we can do the best work for humanity right now. Bye for now. See you next month.